House. Bunch of cool stuff related to our house happened this week. Here's a story about why it's important to be nice to people, the golden rule, if you will. So I called up the local assessor in town because a few weeks back we were trying to get our assessment lowered to the market value of what we paid for the house, whereas it was originally at the value that the initial asking price was for the house, so it would help our taxes a lot if we could bring that down a little bit. There's a nice guy who told us that basically all we need to do is request an informal review and attach, you know, like the bank's appraisal and whatever other stuff we have that says, here's why the house's value should be a little bit less. So we sent that out, didn't get a response. So this week I just tried to call the assessor's office to be like, hey, I wanted to know if anything happened with that. Had a very nice conversation with the woman who answered the phone, and she's like, oh yeah, well this all should have been done a while ago. Did you try calling? And I was like, yeah, I tried to call a few times. I left some messages, I sent an email. I was very polite about the whole thing. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let me look into it and see what happens. And then she goes, oh, and I see you guys are new homeowners and you haven't signed up for the STAR reimbursement, which is like a tax-back program for anyone making less than $500,000 a year. It's an interesting cutoff point to get a little discount on your taxes. But I was like, yeah, we were misinformed about how the program works. We thought that March 1st was the first day to send in the information for it. March 1st was actually the deadline. And so I was like, yeah, I guess we missed that. It's too bad. We'll just make sure that we do it as soon as possible this year. And she's like, oh, I feel so bad for you. So I got a call from her the next day. Here's basically what she said. She says, you know, working this job, I get called and yelled at a lot for things that I have no control over, anything related to taxes, assessments, and you know, I have to tell people that I just follow the rules that the state is setting and I don't make them, and you know, still I end up being a scapegoat for a lot of people. And she basically pointed out that she was very impressed and relieved, and it was a kind of a breath of fresh air that I was so friendly and polite to her. And basically, I mean, I think this had already happened, but our assessment was lowered, so hooray, that means we don't have to grieve our taxes. That's a complicated process, so that makes our lives easier, and it'll make our taxes go down. And then on the STAR program, which I had totally given up on, I didn't ask her to do this at all. She basically said, you know, I just was feeling so bad for you, and you know, you sound like such a sweet couple. So I looked into it, and yeah, I can actually still get your STAR taxes down, or do the STAR program for you, which was totally out of left field, and I was blown away by the kindness of that, of someone going above and beyond the call of their, you know, bureaucratic job to help out some people that just totally missed the deadline on something. You know, we didn't ask her for that. She didn't have to do that, and so sweet. And that's going to save us a couple $1,000s in taxes for the 2015-2016 year. So that was very sweet, and we're very grateful for that whole experience. And the moral of the story is, hey everyone, just be polite, be nice. Even people in service industries, I was a waiter, they're people, okay? Just be nice to them. Understand that they're just like you. So today we invited about, probably about 100 people to our house for my birthday on June 6th. We did something similar for my wife's birthday where we were celebrating like 9 things all at once. That was also when we announced the baby to all of our friends and all that. This time I'm combining housewarming, my birthday, the baby coming, and you know, a lot of our friends and family know about this obviously by now, but we haven't had like an official get together for, you know, the wider public, you know, everyone. So I invited my whole office, invited all the neighbors on our street, invited a bunch of our friends, just said, come over. I'm modeling this a little bit on a housewarming party that someone from my office had last year around this time, and I basically said, yeah, it'll be from like 12 to 6. Anyone who doesn't have a car will pick you up at the train station, you know, try to come at this time or this time, and that's gonna be kind of exciting. The other reason this is really good to set up a party like this, and I find this in the past, even if we're just inviting someone over for the weekend, is this is the kind of like kick in the butt that you sometimes need to get your shit together and like organize the house and get started with some of these tasks that we keep saying, like, you know, like I mentioned last week for the baby, that we made this huge list of like, these are all the things we need to get done before the baby comes. But unless you actually set it up on a schedule and kind of hold yourself to that schedule, it's just a list of like, yeah, I feel bad I haven't done those things yet. So this is really good because, you know, the 3 weeks until this party, June 6th, and the next few weekends are pretty busy. So, you know, this kind of gives me a sense of like, oh, I don't have much time to do all these things that we want to do to make the house presentable to have a lot of people here. So I want to finish painting the porch, and I want to finish doing some stuff out front involving like the wood, our fallen wood pile that I don't think I've talked about. One of our wood piles fell over in the winter. I want to fix all that and distribute that properly. Obviously, we have some garden stuff we want to do. We want to organize the living room and the kitchen and do some cleaning. All basic stuff for when you're trying to be presentable for a large group of people. That's really making me want to work on that now. So very quickly, a couple of things I did today, just spurred on by that motivation. I went and I weeded a bunch of the garden. I started to fix some of the wood pile. I finally finished raking the front. That was great. And then this light out front, I'll try to show you a picture of it, our porch light, which has been the bane of my existence. The bulb died back in probably October, and then the porch light on this side, so porch light out front, or front light, porch light, both those bulbs went out within like a week of each other. And I think I mentioned this in an earlier episode that I finally managed to fix this porch light, and that was way too much work to like figure out how to unscrew everything and get the light bulb out and put it back in. And then I thought, okay, I got that. Okay, I understand how the system works. Should be easy to do the front light now. Still, it took month. I did it today, but it took from October to now to actually figure out how to change the friggin' light bulb in that porch light, because it was the most unintuitive way to change a light bulb I've ever seen. I'm sure there's a joke out there of how many architects does it take to change a light bulb. Well, it took me a very long time. It was 2 little tiny screws that you would never think would actually take anything off on the top. Anyway, I started taking the entire thing apart before I realized that it actually was fairly simple once you understood how to do it. Light bulb changed, good stuff. Weeding was fun, by the way, because I got to have the cats in the garden. I actually wanted to do some mowing today. I don't know if you can hear, there's someone mowing far in the background. Maybe this mic is stopping you from hearing that. That'd be kind of cool. But, our lawnmower, not working. So, oh boy, I get to do lawnmower repair. That's kind of fun. Not something I've ever really had to do before. I noticed there's gas in the tank, but there's not oil. I did a little bit of research on what to do when your lawnmower's not working. I understand that sometimes if the gasoline has been sitting there for a while, mosquitoes, that's not something you have inside so much. If the gas has been sitting there for a while, sometimes you have to clean it all out, put in something new. But this was a great opportunity to look at the spark plug, and I was able to unscrew it even though I don't have a spark plug ratchet or whatever, the right fitting for that. I did it with pliers, took the spark plug out, that was great, it's all rusted. I tried to test it with an e-meter, because we have an e-meter now, because that had to do with when we were trying to get the car batteries working. And the e-meter, I think, is telling us that it's dead. It's a little bit unclear. I still kind of need to work out the details of how exactly an e-meter works and which settings to use and which things to plug the negative and positive, portals into. But anyway, so I think I'm going to start by changing the spark plug, and then hopefully next week I'll be able to mow the lawn for the first time, and that'd be great. When we bought the house, we knew that the family here had an electric mower, and I was like, please let us use the electric mower, and I think it was like a riding mower. I've always had a strange fascination with riding lawnmowers because I've never even been on one, let alone owned one or anything like that. But it's totally cool. We have a regular lawnmower. It's the kind I grew up with when I was mowing the lawn. The only reason I don't know how to fix this stuff is because my dad always did that stuff. So anyway, good education for me. Lawnmowers, cool, next week. I also drew Liz this weekend. That's really cool. I try to draw her every year or so. It's a nice way for me to keep up with drawing, which I don't do as much as I used to. And obviously it's interesting to track how my perception of her is changing, how, she's changing. Obviously she's pregnant right now, so that was a cool thing to try to document. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I spent a lot of time doing that yesterday. That was like a really late birthday present for her. And then, the other thing I guess I did this weekend a lot was I walked a lot with Sadie. The weather's so beautiful, especially when I'm coming home now and it's still nice out. I just want to spend as much time outside as I can. The bugs aren't that bad. I get a mosquito bite here and there, but mostly it's just beautiful. I just heard a turkey. Did you hear that turkey? You probably didn't hear that turkey. Turkey? No. But yeah, we went on like 3 walks today, and I think we went on 4 walks yesterday. So it's great too, by the way, that totally kind of weird side tangent. Outshine. Outshine is a company that was having a crazy promotion in Grand Central a couple weeks ago, like right before I went to DC, and they were just giving away all these yogurt bars, just like, well, there was one day I took 3 of them because they were just that eager to give them away, and I was fine with that. Bad idea, by the way. Don't eat 3 yogurt bars, especially if they're all different flavors. But anyway, then my wife was like, why didn't you bring one home to me? And I'm like, because it would have melted. She's like, well, we could have refrozen it. But then they were on sale at the grocery store, and they're being advertised everywhere. In DC, I saw billboards for them everywhere. But she got them at the grocery store cheaply, even though I had a bunch of coupons now from the free ones I'd had, so we'll have to use those later. But they're great. So yogurt bars, and then they do like fruit bars. Like we had, today I had a strawberry bar on one walk and a lemon lime, fruit bar on the other one, and they both taste fantastic. And as far as, a popsicle can go, these are pretty much the best you can do. I keep hearing that turkey, and I want to know where it is. Where's the turkey? Anyway, Outshine, that's kind of cool. That's it for house stuff this week. Spend time outside. It's beautiful out. Whee! Gobble, 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 gobble. Gobble, gobble, gobble.